I see. Okay. So, right. If everyone's ready, when last we left off, everyone was making their way out of the village, hurrying up, trying to make your way back to the coast as the weather took a serious turn for the worse. Um, passing through the desolated croplands, back the way that you came. Um, Arriving at the shores, and if I remember correctly, you told anyone who did not want to participate in combat to get inside the rope trip.
They are inside, the rope trick, yeah, so they're in the little pocket dimension.
Okay. Which I believe was the kid.
The other two kids, not the one that recognized the dragon.
Yeah, the other two kids, and you threw the dog in there, despite the dogs,
And I believe Bello also went in there.
Yeah. Right. Make sure something real quick. Cool. All right. All right. As you, let's see, make sure this is proper. Yep. That was pretty much it. Everybody else decided to stay. Okay. As you have made your way back to the shipwreck shore, you see a large figure moving through the clouds. What I must say is there anything that you are doing in preparation as the tide seemed to swell, crashing and damaging the ship that was there even more so. Staying up on this cliff that you're on is effectively the safest place to be to keep from being swept back out into the ocean.
Alright, so basically, if you have any buff spells, bring them up.
Yeah, so I was thinking,
So with that in mind, definitely gonna pop some spells.
yeah.
And probably a blade song just to be safe.
I'm gonna pop up, excuse me. I'm gonna pop up, do I get the spell over?
When it's within 90 feet, I'm gonna hit it with a Hunter's Sense, just so that's on the record. And a Slayer's Prey, just to make sure it's extra marked. Alright. Gonna use a Blade Song. I also give it a Hunter's Mark, just for laughs.
You
And
put on a fiery shield.
I'm just gonna draw my blade because, well, yeah, I'm gonna draw my blade and just stick it in the dirt, like upright, in case I need it. But I'm gonna try to appear as non-menacing or harmful as possible.
remind me, what type of dragon was it supposed to be? Fire, lightning, poison?
It's a cobalt dragon. You're unsure as to what it can do because they are ridiculously rare and they are nothing that you have actually seen, or they're nothing you've actually seen, or and there is no real combat history with them.
Alright, well.
I must say, based on where you are and where you would have gotten this information from, it's not exactly. I must say they're not. I must say dragons aren't exactly that common here to begin with, and then these sort of dragons are definitely not like a norm.
Okay, so knowing as little as we do. Okay, for your interpretation, we don't necessarily know about cobalt dragons, but we know at least enough about dragons that you should be able to answer this. Are you counting breath weapons as magical effects for the purposes of like spells and defenses?
It says that it says that their breath. I must say, dragon breathes magical energy in a form.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
In which
specifically
case,
says they breathe magical energy.
Evan will pop a circle of power for us. And a tiny hut just so we have some first round protection just in case this goes sideways.
What power level is that?
Okay. As it starts to get closer, your hunter sense kicks in. The only thing that you are picking up is that it has an immunity to cold.
Cool. So no cold spells, guys. Uh-huh.
I
You are
really feel
picking
like
up-
we're just overreacting, but
It's only an overreact. I must say, it's only an overreact if someone does something very bad.
It's coming in flying, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay. In which case, next will be like, it's a flying sandworm. There's no such thing as being overprepared.
hey, not all creatures are evil.
also good.
Some are just
I didn't say it was evil.
Understood.
I'm saying it's dangerous.
Right. It's like nobody's saying it's evil. Nobody's assuming it's going, immediately going to attack. But we want to be prepared just in case it does. Especially since we are last time we saw it, immediately sank our boat, and we were standing here with its missing kid. Apparently.
Okay. I must
I can also pop Twilight Sanctuary. Cool.
I must say, the Forge Master will having his blades, having his his hand on his blades, but not drawn, as he does not want to appear aggressive, but is obviously ready in case something happens.
Exactly. It's like we're just ready.
Yeah. He kind of.
He's not saying you guys didn't get ready, just that you guys are like over ready.
More so because it takes forever to turn all this stuff on if we don't do it now.
He is going to, I must say, he is going to look over to kind of like speak over in the direction of you three, in the direction of you four. I do not suppose that any of you, I must say, any of you, with your silvered whips and guns and bullets, came equipped
And
with silver
swords.
tongues and swords. That you came equipped with silver tongues.
Hmm.
Not exactly my forte. Normally, the creatures I deal with aren't interested in parley.
So talking it down may be up to the option.
I'm willing. I'm
We
open to
don't know
making the
yet. I
attempt,
haven't tried
but
it. Yeah.
This is the GM asking. Do all of you suck at social skills?
Nix has never been very social.
I want to say Matt was the social.
Okay.
Suka was the
That's it.
second social.
I'd say Suka's okay by virtue of being a sorceress.
Okay.
Yeah, I like. Yeah. Yeah, I can make it work. I can make it work because my charisma score is a 5.
Okay. I'm asking because I'm trying to see if the player should be doing this. The captain has skills in that, but I also didn't want to have the NPC do talking for you unless you guys actually wanted to.
If you want us to have more than a +5 to succeed at this,
I'll say, like I said, for GM, I don't want to have like an NPC take what like thunder or skill or anything like that.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah.
yeah, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying, it's like the only person who was really into the talking is the guy who didn't show up. So
Okay. That's what I was making sure because I was like, normally the party tends to have at least 2 people who are kind of good at persuasion. I know that you aren't normally that person. I know David kind of fluctuates in between on that, so it just normally kind of.
My charisma score is a 5, but I have a +6 to any charisma based thingamajiggies. So
Okay, so
that's better than something. Yeah, I would do the talking. I figured I was the talking anyway.
I say again, it's you or Matt.
That's just making sure. Okay.
See,
Cool.
Nix is not hiding the fact he just considers this thing a dangerous creature that can happen to mimic speech. Wherever he's from, everything is pretty much dangerous.
Yeah, and Nalen's basically confirmed that much. It's like, oh yeah, this thing is fucking dangerous. I'll get out.
Okay.
But they are not above being reasoned with, depending on whether this falls into the chromatic or metallic, alignment, stereotypes. Being cobalt, I'm inclined to say it's probably a metallic, but that could be a chromatic, since cobalt is also a color.
Metallic.
Let's see. All right. In which case, there must say a few more strikes of lightning slam into these rocks, splitting several of them in 2.
I'm getting context clues. It does lightning.
And with that, one last strike of lightning strikes down strikes down on this on what's left of the boat, incinerating it and causing it to shatter as debris and shrapnel go all over the place. It is consumed in flames before a tide quickly snuffs it out, sending a quick burst of steam. In that burst of steam, a large shrouded figure will descend and land on these rock structures as the waves recede from its current torrent. As this creature appears.
Looks familiar. I think I've seen that at con. Nice.
But it will, it will mount, it will be walking, it will be walking along the rock structures, looking around on its wings. You will see lightning. You will see lightning crackling around its back. And you will also see something that looks to be radiant energy steaming from its mouth.
All right, Toddy, you got one shot at this.
It is looking around before it takes notice of all of you. The child will scream out. "Father, over here!"
I want to make it clear we are standing in a way that clearly shows we are not being aggressive towards the child.
Okay.
They may be in the protective bubble, but that is the extent of the...
It looks. It looks at its child. It looks at this child. You can see its face. You can see its face look relieved, happy. Notices all of you. Immediately gets defensive.
Hey now. Hey now. I'm out.
And proceeds to start walking towards you. Not aggressively, because he does not know if you are going to harm his child if he gets too close, but is pretty. Nayland, you have dealt with enough beasts and heard enough about dragons that if you do something to its child, it is more than willing to kill all of you.
Yeah, that's why I'm making it clear we are we are ready to defend ourselves, but we don't intend to harm. Yeah, it is clearly a defensive posture, not a we are holding your kid hostage posture.
It will get this close to you.
Everybody is on edge right now.
As it looks down at all of you. Who are you?
Just a bunch of people that are passing through. We are here to make sure that you take your son back to where you came from, and that these nice townfolk will be left alone.
There's nothing nice about these townfolk.
Oh no, not these townsfolk. These townfolk were assholes. We're talking about the big shipping village over there.
The big shipping village. We're wanting you to leave the big shipping village alone. This village is fine. You can do whatever you want to this one.
Well, everybody's dead in this village, so
we don't really care. But that big shipping village over there.
Easier said than done.
Why easier said than done? I mean, I feel like you say it, you make it happen, done.
This village was protected by the same one who I fled here to this realm from, thinking I had escaped.
Well,
I made a deal that I am still uncertain as to whether I regret.
Does the deal have anything to do with parasites that may or may not have been infesting the villagers and are now destroyed?
The deal had nothing to do with them. I was under the belief that I had escaped them, only to find out that they have attempted to make home and residency here. They are a planar scourge.
Okay, I get that part. What does it have to do with the village across the way?
I need sustenance. Their ships have resources.
Okay, this
I
doesn't feel
took
mutually exclusive. This is what we call trade. They give you food, you protect them.
That sounds like a agreeable term, don't you think? And your
as you
kid gets
put
to
it,
grows up among people.
the people of this realm are not worth growing up around. All of them seem sad, miserable, depressed, pitiful creatures. That village that you speak of, that village that you speak of, they are nothing but, as you call them, assholes.
No. This
I,
village
I have,
is assholes. That village, the Fisher village over there that we're talking about, not assholes. Just
no, they
people
were kind
trying
of
to
Yeah,
make
dicks to
it.
you if you don't
to be
remember.
fair, they were a bit of assholes to us too, but that's
Yeah,
because
but
they
we
felt
were
they had nothing to gain.
outsiders.
They work on a system of mutual benefits.
And we're also outsiders. So she
Yeah.
expects that to be common wherever they go, wherever we go.
Well, the
We're going to
dragon's
be
also an
treated like
outsider as far as
assholes.
that goes.
Oh, fair.
These people, I'll say, these people of this world do not recognize my kind. They flee in terror when I appear.
Yeah, we don't get a lot of dragons around here.
You do look
It
like
is the
a flying sandworm.
You will see him. You will see him gruff, as this is the first sign of hostility that he's shown since you started talking. Do not dare compare me to such inferior creatures.
He knows not what he speaks, and this is his first time out about the world.
That is true.
I came here hoping that I, to some extent, would not be challenged upon
You're
coming
not
here.
being challenged, but maybe
No,
we
no,
can just
no.
ease up on terrorizing
He-
the fisher folk.
He means challenge as in based on what you're getting. Him and his child were fleeing something that was attacking them. And he was like, if I come to this realm, there are no dragons here. I can basically live here in peace because nothing can threaten me. Because I'm a fucking dragon. Only to find out that the thing that he had been running from was also starting to try to get a foothold here as well. He will say, I had made residency here on this island in the hopes that no one would find us. There was a lovely family that lived on the island, but something overtook them. They kidnapped my child and used their dark arts in order to rob the land of its power, and thus kept me from being able to use my power as well to its full extent. After seeing what those creatures did, I dare not get too close. My breath weapons were rendered ineffective, and making contact with them resulted in several of my abilities being rendered from me temporarily. It was not a task that I could handle on my own.
Well, we seem to have handled it then.
So you can have your nice island back and leave the people across the way alone.
He'll look down at you. You handled it. How so?
Like we do everything, we kill it.
Such brute force from mortals.
I mean, you asked your son; he was there.
I say he'll say he was like, it's true, father. They mercilessly slaughtered the villagers, and he's gonna kind of look. He's like, as grateful as I am, that is unfortunate.
Well, the villagers
They
were already
treated me
gone.
with-
Let's be clear here.
Yeah, they were
They
already
treated
dead.
me with- he will say they treated me with such kindness. Did you kill the dog too?
No, the dog and the children are still with us. They are safely, ensconced away just in case this went sideways, because we didn't want them to get hurt.
Hmm.
We weren't able to save all your family, but we saved some of your family. So
We saved who we could. The people that were still alive when we got here.
As long as my child is alive, the rest, as much as I grew fond of them, are of little relevance.
okay, but back to the village across the way.
What about them?
You've been attacking their boats. They've been unable to feed themselves or trade or anything.
Again, I feel like offering protection in exchange for food and resources benefits both parties.
The captain here, who actually works in that village, probably can better explain what's been going on.
The captain's gonna say, "Ma, you are quite the Ma, you are quite the large lizard, aren't you?" And he's gonna say, "A bold one you are. I recognize you. That's funny because I don't recognize you. Maybe I didn't exactly get to see you that often with you hiding in your clouds doing your little strafing runs." Ah, good times. Not good times, just you damaged my boat. It's gone. That was unfortunate. But I was of the belief that you belonged to those heretics that were more recruits that they were ferrying into the island. I could not have their numbers growing any more than what it was. And I, per the bargain I made, cannot leave this land. Moving through those strange clouds is something that I am not permitted to do. Likely because I am an outsider.
Well, I might be able to help you with the cloud problem, as I am able to move others through them, unless the terms of your deal, specifically preclude it. But we can pretty much assure that the people in the other village have nothing to do with what was going on here. What was going on here was a threat from an outside.
My deal that I struck came from whispers in the darkness. They offered me sanctuary in exchange for isolation. I did not know what that deal exactly meant, but anything was better than what exists outside. I'll say you will kind of see him like look up to the sky. You'll see him look up to the sky, and he will be, I'll say, with a bit of a irritation and gruff. You will hear him mutter, "Mase, curse the god." Mase, curse that wretched realm of Ranthordill.
I don't know what that is, but
yeah, I don't think any of us recognize that one. So, again, Easter egg for a person who's not here.
Sounds like of the Sony question?
Everybody turns and looks at Nayland.
I can roll for it, but I'm pretty sure I haven't heard of that one.
Are there any Ravenloft realms that are like there's nobody there? Maybe we can move the
Dark
dragon
Ops?
in the sun there.
Ha!
No one. You are effectively in the second least populated area of Ravenloft. The only other place that has less people than this is the Nightmare Lands.
Oh, yeah, no, we can't send them there.
And I'll say the Nightmare Lands only basically has like one tribe of people wandering around. And Morden has the second lowest population.
Okay.
Well, like I said, if you just want to if you're hanging out here, as long as you don't attack the other town, there shouldn't be a
That's
problem
all
with
we're
anybody.
asking.
What do you suggest?
Well,
Partnership.
Still needs sustenance.
Well, again, we suggested that setting up an agreement with them where they provide you with sustenance and you provide them with protection against outside forces, like you were in theory already doing, since you don't want anything to do with outside forces either.
So offer the peasants here my protection from whatever threatens them.
In exchange for tribute.
Yes. And the form
And they
of
give
your
me
resources and
tribute.
sustenance. Yes.
Or if you don't want to deal with people, I have this bag of infinite sandwiches.
That is a very strange concept.
Tribute or infinite sandwiches?
I think the sandwiches.
More so the latter, less the former.
Oh, that's so sad.
But must say, I seriously doubt a meager sandwich could satiate my hunger.
Again,
But if they are infinite, that could be quite interesting. Yes. My brethren would speak of tributes given to them by townspeople. Although I care very little for it. The idea of being a sentry against further incursion, at least for this area, does seem reasonable.
You think the town will go for it, Captain?
The captain's gonna look at the dragon, then she's just gonna kind of like motion over to look at you and motion over to her with her thumb. Kind of like she's like, what choice do they have? I mean, if he shows his face, what are they gonna do? Fight it? They bet them out. Either they take his deal or they die. Seems like a pretty straightforward and self-explanatory thing to me.
I mean, you would think that, but people can be stupid.
They can be stupid, and they are stupid. It's the reason why I stay here, it's fun being the genius amongst idiots.
Fair enough.
I see.
Makes my life makes my life easy. Makes my life a whole lot easier when I talk them into doing things that no sane person would do. Like going out into the water in order to go try and run shipments, knowing good and well there's some sort of beastie out in the water that'll kill them. It's really good when you got a village full of idiots willing to do it for a handful of coin. And then I get to keep the coin when they die.
All right. Well then.
Although I will say this will put a little bit of a damper on my business. But being able to actually conduct business will actually be able to help. The dragon will look over to a shout. What say you? It was like, what say you, Seth? He'll look over at all of you. Well, they did save me, and they haven't threatened me.
That sounds like a point in the positive. Awkward silence is awkward. Hello? Are we still on?
Well, you
I'm still
see-
here.
Okay, so yeah, we are still being heard. It's just, everything went quiet randomly.
No, I'm muting myself unless I have to talk. So
There he
Brian
goes.
dropped.
I was about to say, Brian was talking to himself, and then everything just suddenly went quiet. It's like,
if he was on his phone, that might explain it. His phone is having difficulty charging, and he got a wireless charger. The first one I know didn't really charge his phone, and then he got another one after work. But I don't know if
he's
that
usually
one-
on his phone. He doesn't actually Skype from the computer, like,
normal people.
yeah.
Okay, well then it could be his phone died. Because I think even the one that he got after work only charged his phone up to 5%.
There he is. We
Are you
lost
on
you
your
at
phone?
they didn't attack me.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. He'll say he was like, they didn't attack. He was like, they didn't attack me. Although there was one member of their rescue crew that did give me kind of bad vibes.
The one in the black robe?
He's gonna nod his head. He's like, mm-hmm. It was like with the black lipstick and
Yeah, she's not with our party. She is getting offloaded at our next stop. She's technically a prisoner that we are having to exchange because she decided to take our poor Forge Master friends here's family hostage.
I'll say the dragon will say sounds like quite the unscrupulous person.
Oh yeah, we seem to have gotten into a lot of.
No, go ahead.
We seem to have gotten a lot into the reuniting family business recently.
That is good of you. I am proud. Bring her forth. I shall cast judgment upon her.
Fortunately, can't do that at the moment.
He'll kind of like cock his head, kind of waiting for an answer.
Other people are already looking to cast judgment, and more importantly, if she is harmed, then we can't get this guy's family back.
This could be I'll say, that is unfortunate for you. Him looking at the Forge Master. Although your family's sacrifice will have not been in vain for the smiting of evil.
Looking at Tatsuya like help.
Yeah, we can't do that, sir. If we kill her, millions of other people will die if we let her be taken by you. So we kind of have to return her so those millions of people get to live.
I was unaware that this realm had millions of residents.
This one specifically doesn't, but the one we're taking her to and the one she's come from does.
That's a good lie. I appreciate that. You're not technically
it's not
wrong.
a lie, yeah. Because as far as
There is not a realm in Ravenloft. The entire population of Ravenloft, the entirety of all the realms, I don't think totals up to 1 million.
well, she doesn't know that. But Suka doesn't.
I'm about to say technically she's not fully wrong. It is a countless horde of zombies. So technically they are residents because they live there. It is an endless swarm of undead until you lose the fight. So technically she's not wrong. So yeah, I'm not going to ask you to roll con for that. I'm not going to ask you to roll for lying on that because it's not a lie.
I mean, OOC, it probably is, but in character, Suka doesn't know. She's just assuming that this is so.
Millions is a bit. I'll say millions does prove to be a bit more taxing than the life of one man's family in the face of evil. That cannot be. I'll say that cannot abide. I will spare her life I will spare her evil life in order to make sure that these millions that you speak of get to continue living in this. He'll look around at like the gloomy sky. Bliss.
Hey,
Thank you.
some of this is bliss to people. Like, this is my type of weather.
He will say. He will say after what I've seen. After what I've seen and experienced, having a sky is a welcome sight.
I don't like sunlight, so
I must say the experiences prior to this have humbled me. Having fresh air. Having fresh air, land, wind, stars in the sky. Others, I'll say he'll kind of
Are the stars back?
He'll kind of. Huh?
Are the stars back? You said they weren't. They haven't been a thing.
No, he was not. He's just mentioning that he's just running off the list of things that he no longer had before he got here.
Oh, well. It's like, we have stars? We haven't seen a single star since we got here.
He'll say neither have I, but I'm sure they exist somewhere.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you were accidentally blotting them out somehow with your power.
My power does not extend over this. I must say over this domain.
You sure? You may
Although I do have. Being able to, must say, I've been told that there is someone here, a human, who is able to twist, who is able to twist and warp reality to his cruel design. But as of yet, whatever he has desired to change, has not impeded my ability to roam around. Obviously, my presence has not been deemed worthy of his attention.
Even humans not messing with very powerful things isn't exactly unusual.
If he is not, this is true. If he has not come to actually, if he has not actually come to seek me, then it is best that I do not provoke his power, as I am still uncertain as to the layout and the capabilities of those who reside in this realm.
Hmm.
But I must say, but I am not. Must say, I'm not above. Brent, I must say, I'm not above being thankful. You have my deepest gratitude for saving my child.
You are most certainly welcome.
Hmm.
Yes,
As
we grateful that he was, a good kid.
as must say, as thanks for doing this. Must say, as thanks for what you have done. I am more than willing to take you back to the port. I must say, to the port town. Since he'll look over at the ocean, your ship suffered a tragic, unforeseen accident.
That would be most appreciated.
I'm about to say the captain's gonna say, so could you use some of your? I'm about to say. So I'm assuming since you're intelligent, you can use magic, and maybe you can fix my boat. And I'll say, and the first mate's gonna like put his hand over my mouth and like, shut up.
Oopsies.
I'm about to say he will say although I am capable of casting great magics, unfortunately, my strongest spells still have not returned to me.
Hmm.
I am less formidable than I would like to be, but I can feel the power returning slowly, gradually. Unfortunately, I cannot return your ship to you. Maybe if I come across another vessel, I can eat its crew and bring the ship back to you.
That sounds fair. Titan, what is it?
The captain's gonna kind of look into like, not exactly what I wanted, but a boat's a boat.
I was gonna say, bakers can't be choosers.
um, it will go down on all four legs, and it will it will lay down, climb aboard.
Who is it? Who is it saying that to?
All of us.
Oh,
Um,
yay!
I will let the others out of the pocket dimension, and we will climb aboard.
I will tentatively climb aboard.
Um, um, Cheddar will bolt out of the bag and run up to the dragon and start like barking and running around his leg. The dragon will, for the first time you notice, seem to smile. I've missed you too.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the dragon indicated knew the dog.
Titan,
The dog will just kind of be like wagging its tail, running around in circles. Have you been a good creature? He will start like petting it as gently as he can with his giant clawed hands. He will say this. He will say this. He was like, this creature. This one amuses me. It brings me much joy.
Oh, that's nice.
Gonna be looking for a home if you're interested.
since you have murdered its family, I shall gladly take it in. He will look down at it. He will look down at it. He will say, Cheddar, you shall be my squire.
My brain just went, Cheddar, rise! Sorry.
As my second, I shall grant you the dragon's blessing. You shall know power beyond compare. Murph? Yes. Even that. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Let's see, make sure that I actually still have it. Not put it in here somewhere. Here it is. Let's see. Oh, of course it didn't fucking save. Of course you didn't. It's funny. Okay.
Just how it'd be useful.
You drag it from Google Drive.
I do have a question for the dragon in route. I just want to mention that now in case I forget.
Yes, of course.
But I'll wait till then because there's a few other things going on.
You can go ahead and ask him. What is your question, Fractured One?
I was curious in your vast amount of experience and magical acumen if you have if you're aware of or know how to reverse a draconic curse. And what I'm going to do without naming names is describe the seemingly transformative curse/issues that I believe it was Kin has.
Thinking, I'll say, well, that's a good question. Let me go ahead and roll his Arcana.
I remember storylines.
Okay. So you're basically asking about you're asking about your I'm gonna say your family's curse.
Yeah, because I know she was like, don't tell anyone, and I didn't drop her name, but I remember she took me in private, and I believe you described it as kind of like a draconic scale thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep, I actually have it right here. Yeah. Part of our armor is halfway through transmuting into something dragon-esque. There's gems underneath her skin. Yeah, it's like I have that. I have all that here. Okay.
Okay, let's see. Okay. The cheddar that you see is engulfed in a burst of light. Must say he is engulfed in a burst of light as the dragon holds a hand out over him. The Cheddar is no more, as Cheddar has ascended.
He is now Cheddar Pride.
And the light. Cheddar reappears, but now he seems to be wearing a hat.
He's taking levels in Good Boy.
He seems to be wearing a hat that looks strangely like a wizard.
Okay.
And you also notice that he seems to have a some sort of tome or book that is latched to his back.
Never seen this before.
He will say, Cheddar, Cheddar, you have been bestowed with greatness. I have awakened you. Go forth, and you shall aid me in protecting these miserable creatures. Even though he barks, all of you seem to understand exactly what he said.
As a pet, this does not surprise me.
Cheddar will protect the people. Cheddar likes the people. Cheddar likes meeting new people. People are good. People give Cheddar food. Food is good.
Cheddar isn't wrong. Food is good.
Yeah, he will say, yes, Cheddar, your simple-minded. He was like, your simple-minded views on good and evil shall aid me greatly. As you are making your way, okay. The way you are describing, it, he will be thinking for a moment. Mm-hmm. I have not heard. I have not heard of. I was like, I have not heard of that in quite some time.
So it's not unique, it's just rare.
Very rare. Very rare. How long has she been afflicted with this?
I like to remind unless she's been reading my mind, I like to remind you that that Nyx was expressly not trying to use any identifiers.
Okay. It was like, how long have they been afflicted with this?
From what I remember of what you were saying, Brian, she only had this after I saw her again at the start of the game.
Yeah. So the amount in between the time that you lost her and you thought she was dead, it turns out that she wasn't.
Okay.
So I think you had said a couple of years, or like I can't remember if you said it was.
Yeah, it's been a small handful of years. Yeah.
He will say, are they close to you?
Assuming you're not talking proximity, then yes.
Mm. He will. I'll say you will see. You will kind of hear like his tone of voice change. Then I am sorry for your loss.
Excuse me?
This item. This item is an ancient. This item is an ancient, and ancient and cursed. Cursed weaponry. Ancient cursed weaponry. Forged by the mortals. Forged by the mortals. When they attempted, when they were first attempting to gain godhood. It is a failed experiment. Most of them believed to be destroyed, and the rest scattered. And the rest were scattered amongst the infinite planes. She seems to have been unfortunate enough to find one of them. It is an item. It is an item. It's an item that that has been known as the Witchblade.
What would such an item look like? I'd presume a blade by its name, but I have a feeling it's not that obvious.
It is an item, it is an item, or more or less a creature that is inside of her now. It looks like, it tends to look like an unassuming gem. But once it has been grafted to and bonded to a host that it deems fit, it feeds off of them, eats at their very soul and their essence, granting them immeasurable power, the power to strike down nearly any entity in exchange for their lives being snuffed out.
Does this require...
It will
Sorry, go.
Hmm? It will gradually eat at her, urging her. It will gradually eat at them, urging them to fight, to seek out combat and aggression, wherever it may be, and it will cause her great torment. It will cause them great torment every time that they attempt to resist, until eventually they give in or either go mad. And the more they fight, the more it eats away at them and replaces parts of their soul with unyielding arcane power.
Is such a thing forced, or does it have to be agreed?
The item is presented. The item is presented to people, and if it rejects them, it will bond to anyone. But if it rejects them, they die instantly. The fact that it is bonded to this person you speak of, and they are still alive, means that it found them as a worthy host.
Thank you. The Witchblade is what you called it?
Yes. There are slight instances, very few historically, where some have managed to tame it, supposedly. Managed to be able to resist the urge, corral its power, or fight, or in even less cases, gave in to the will to fight and conflict. And in return, what ended up happening was they lived through sheer will fought against death and won with the arcane power that they grasped, obtaining immortal bodies that sought nothing but combat. They were quite, I must say, he will say, they were quite the nuisance on the battlefield. An immortal warrior with, an immortal warrior of legend running around the battlefield, nothing seeming to stop them. It would get so bad that the gods had to see. I must say, would have to seal those ones specifically away. But this person that you speak of, I doubt they will achieve either of those results. It is far more likely they will die. The only fix that I'm aware of is to let it run its course. And either they will die, they will become an immortal warrior, or they will perfectly bond with it, and thus become a and thus become a and thus become the ultimate thus become the ultimate form of what it was meant to be, a champion of someone who holds their own morale.
What you're saying, it sounds like the only real option is, well, training in an attempt to either tame it or survive.
These are, I must say, those are options indeed. Not very good options, but possibly. It all depends on their resolve, and whether you are willing to put them out of their misery should this go sideways.
Understood, thank you.
You are welcome. And once again, my early condolences.
No one's going to be lost if I can help it.
Your enthusiasm is much appreciated.
Nick's kind of trails off into thought, considering what's been said.
Don't stop on my account. Feel free to keep talking.
You show up now that we missed all your plot relevant stuff.
Welcome.
People should let me know if there's plot relevant stuff for me so that I am on time and present.
I believe I did put that in chat.
I think you said something about a god, but I was like, sorry.
Yeah, the session before last, you put a summary and relating to Matt's backstory before we started it in proper.
Let's see.
Yeah, there's a big old quote you put here on the 14th.
Which was, last session.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Recap of the previous one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Recap so far. I'll say recap so far for you. Um, you have befriended, allied yourself with an ancient cobalt dragon that you found out. I'll say that you found out came here to Ravenloft after striking a deal with whispers in its head that promised it safety, that promised it and its child safety in exchange. I'll say, and all they would have to deal with was crippling isolation.
Aw. Poor thing.
It said that it came here escaping the calamity.
Huh.
It said there was it said it was escaping a calamity that was happening outside of here. A cruel goddess who was swallowing up the sky.
Oh. Yeah, that sounds like it might be a bit of a tie-in there. That seems vaguely familiar. I mean, it's been a while, but I'm pretty sure that's what my backstory says something about.
He also, I'll say, since technically you were there, the rest of the crew knew nothing about this, but he did look up towards the sky and say, curse the realm of Ravenloft.
Wait, who said that?
The dragon.
The dragon.
Hmm. Well then. I see.
Since I will give you a quick recap of the last session as well. There was also they went into the village. There were the villagers were infected. The villagers were infected with some rather strange creatures. I'll say some rather strange looking some rather strange eight-legged looking creatures that that effectively kind of would crawl inside of people and take over their bodies.
Mm.
And
You lost me at eight-legged. So
what they were doing is these creatures were using anyone they could get a hold of in order to harvest the natural magical energy that is found in everything. So these things basically broke down the weave enough so that it could basically be funneled through a crystal. So it could be funneled through some sort of crystalline device, which I can actually show. I'll say if you're logged into the game, I will show you. There we go. It was this. Which Rayon would recognize as you would recognize it as a let's see, let me see what the name of it is. Where is it? I'm gonna say it is known. I'm gonna say it is known as the Obsidian Fall.
Huh.
It is a crystal that I'm gonna say is a crystal that that is used to funnel the broken apart magic particles directly. I'm gonna say directly to this goddess. Um,
Uh-huh.
I must say basically swallowing up all of the life from planets and realms directly to her, feeding her and withering entire planes in the process. Um, it is a crystal that the more that it transfers, the larger that it grows until the I must say until eventually the planet is drained completely dry of its mana and funneled directly to her, leaving a dried up husk of a plane.
Mm.
Oof.
I would have told everyone.
Yeah.
They were in the middle of doing it here.
I say that part we were able to figure out on
but you
our own.
guys, yeah. Yeah, I must say only you are aware of what this thing would have done if if it had stayed here, for a prolonged period of time. It would have, because you have watched it happen before, where it basically destroyed entire planets. But like you said, this thing currently fits in the palm of your hand. By the time it was done, this thing probably would have been the size of a continent. But you guys managed to stop. You guys managed to stop it. You defeated all the villagers who had been affected. Excuse me. And one of their heralds, and I'll say one of this goddess's heralds, appeared and offered the group a chance to surrender. Of course, the group did not take it.
Excellent choice.
Basically tried to make them the same offer that they tried to make them the same offer that they effectively tried to make you and your brethren. They did not take it, and so he said that they will pay, and they will pay, and that calamity will descend on you. And the last thing he told them was that the fallen gods will not be able to save you.
Well, I agree to disagree.
And that's basically what happened. You guys went back to the shore. This dragon showed up. The same dragon that destroyed your boat in the first place and shipwrecked you here. After talking to him, he agreed that he probably shouldn't have done that. And in order to make up for it, he's willing to carry you all on his back back to shore.
Alrighty.
Okay. I'll say, and as you guys make your way back, you land back on the coast. As this large beast lands in the shallow water, letting out a blood-curdling roar as the villagers go running in terror.
I'm sure the roar translates to yawn.
They deserve
It's
that.
like, they're like, oh my God, what is that? And they're just like scattering, running. It's the end. It's the end of the days. We're all going to die. Yeah.
Thanks for the lift.
Hmm. They do not seem to, I must say, they do not seem to revere me, as you said they would.
Well, that's because we haven't talked to them about the deal yet. But give it a minute.
Very well. Foolish mortals, gather at my feet and worship me, for I am your protector, and I shall save you from those that would threaten you. Brah! As he just shoots his breath weapon into the air.
I suppose that's one way of doing it.
Is he trying to be persuasive?
Yes.
Okay, in that case, you know what I would like to do?
What?
I would like to within makes an ability check and skills or ability checks. So yes, I like to use Flash of Genius on I believe was it Seth, was it?
Yeah, Sepsifear.
Yep. So his roll will get a +5.
Okay.
And
+5 plus a d4.
It's all you, buddy.
Okay. Like I roll complete shit and still somehow managed to actually make that decent.
Why is one at +25 and the other at +24?
I don't know what the hell happened. Either way, 33 still better than 30.
Yeah.
So. The villagers will cower and come crawling on their hands and knees to the bay. Please don't kill us. Oh, he's like, please don't kill us, demon. I'm no demon. I am your protector, your great guardian. And they're gonna be like, okay. And this shall be your Grand Chancellor.
Yes, Matt. He has ascended to the greatest of boys.
Behold your town. Behold your town's wise men. Archwizard Cheddar. They're gonna look at him and be like, a dog? Yes, a dog. This dog had
Keep going.
It was like, yes, a dog. This dog has shown more compassion, love, and trust and obedience than you filthy humans could ever do. And because I am merciful and magnanimous, I shall not destroy all of you, but instead I shall protect you. As long as you feed me, I shall choose to set up residency here, and you shall revere my child as a god. These are my terms. They are not up for debate. Obey me or crumble as I waste your village. The townspeople will look at this beast, look at you guys. The captain will give a thumbs up, and they're gonna be like, "We live to obey. Good." He's gonna look. The dragon's gonna look down at you, Nayland. That went well.
Told you it would.
I would have subjugated these people long ago if I had known it was this easy.
Well, they're not subjugated. You guys have a working relationship.
Yes, they feed me and praise me and worship me as a god, and I shall give them protection against the other weaklings who infect this realm.
Yeah, sounds like religion to me.
I think I might like it. Must say. Why haven't any of you tried to be gods?
Too much like work.
I was a god once. It was boring. Nobody likes sitting there, participating in the illicit things all day.
No, I don't believe in gods.
Oh, trust me. Whether they are worth revering, and must say whether they are worth revering is one thing. But trust me, they do exist.
All right.
There are beings that are beyond your comprehension. Whether they deserve your worship as I do is another thing. But these creatures are stupid and pathetic, and thus they are fit to worship me and give me what little they have.
Just remember not to take too much, because if you take too much, then they won't have anything to give you next time.
This land is bountiful; they will find a way.
That's my point. Don't do what the other guys did and overtax the land.
I will take your advice, colorful one. If he will say I have yet he was like I'm very well aware of Cheddar, but what of the rest of you? What should I call you, tiny creatures?
I'm Nayland.
I'm Nix.
My name is unimportant.
That is likely so, but
That's the first time I've actually heard him say that.
To be honest, it's because Matt isn't 100% sure if this.
if he
What
knows
the-
what your
this-
name is.
Yeah, because he said Curse Rathendil, which is my homeland. So, but he's a god from some.
No.
Is he a god from somewhere else, or
He's
is he
a dragon
from
who has proclaimed himself a god as of taking over this village.
Oh,
He's an ancient dragon, so he's close. He's about as close as a creature can get to having godlike abilities without being a god.
Yeah, he's only got one step to go before that, and that's becoming Great Worm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. See, I'm not at my usual size right now.
Yeah.
Be a little hard to fight him.
Yeah. He is
If you're not the usual size, there's medicine for that.
Apparently they have it at CVS.
I was speaking in character, but yes, you're right.
The tools to get you there.
So yeah, with his current stats, he by himself is a threat to the group.
Oh yeah, he's a fuck-mothering dragon. I hope he's a threat to the group. We're only level 16.
Well, I mean, even without the circle strafing.
But
Yeah, I'm talking about in general. I would hope
This
that an ancient dragon is
this
still a
ancient
threat to
dragon
us. Ancient dragons
came
are like
from
minimum CR
Ravenloft.
22.
it came from Rathendil, which means that it likely thinks that it would kill any of the gods from Rathendil.
We know it knows
or-
of Rathendil. We don't know if it actually came from there or not.
Yeah, he didn't say where he didn't say where he came from. He just seems to know about it. You can likely assume that he knows about it because I'll say because the goddess has likely said as much and is
Okay.
I'm not saying is
Cool. Yeah. But yeah, no, he don't need to know who I am.
okay.
I don't need him feeling threatened by me, as most beings do.
I'm not telling you my name for your safety.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes it is like that.
Okay. Now that you are here, and the town has, I'm not saying the town has agreed to, submit to the will of this large beast. While he is, while he is commanding them to go out and build as he is demanding that they go out and begin building a monument to him. What are you guys going to be doing?
I'm going to go find my dwarf contact friend from the what passed for the Adventurers Guild around here so I can collect payment, because that's 2 jobs done.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Were you still doing something?
No, that was the extent of my. Also, got to check on the caravan, but caravan's on the way to the dwarf, so or dwarf's on the way to the caravan, rather.
Sierra, did we actually have any did Nyx and Suka actually schedule their sparring? I don't recall whether it was like an every night thing or a specific day of what counts for for days of the week in
No,
Ravenloft.
it was not scheduled. It was not scheduled.
Okay. In which case, Nyx will, if you're at some point away from the group, will ask to speak with you over training.
Suka would be willing.
Okay. So I don't know if we're actually going to get to it or not. What he's going to want to propose is as far as he's concerned, you are like the fighter, not this person, not to besmirch Nayland, but Nayland's like a very specific kind of fighter.
It's cool. It's cool.
I mean, you like slay things, like specifically. So he's wondering if and again, I need to get the name right because all these names are similar, and it's my fault. If you'd be willing to at some point, he hasn't figured out when yet, to train he's gonna be a bit vague. The person he was asking Seth about, provided that they agree, and maybe not even then. He might do the forced matter.
So let me just get this straight. He's asking if Suka would be willing to train somebody for him.
Yes, for the purposes of I'm not even sure if she'd be aware of it or not beyond what Seth had already said. But in order to tame or at least survive the Witchblade artifact. Or curse, rather. Just use those words.
Yeah, she'd be willing. She'd be willing.
Okay. Okay. Okay, need to find some game time then for things. Okay. Nyx will be in your debt.
He doesn't have to be in debt. He can just call me. I mean, he can just call me master, and I can call him pet.
He's
Sorry.
given the other person he's called master, he's uncomfortable with that part, but he will begrudgingly allow you to call him pet.
And as I stated before,
She calls
he
you
would
pet anyway.
come. Yes, but now he is conceding to the name.
Hey, Nyx will ever say this. For the moment, the training hasn't actually started yet.
Oh no, don't worry, don't worry. I understand that part. I just want to point out that this has come full circle, and we are right where we said we would be if you had just given in long before.
Well, if you haven't noticed, I'm not entirely accepting of the term.
Oh yeah, no. Give it time. It will roll off your tongue in a matter of days. And I promise to be very gentle and use lube. You won't feel the thing.
I think you're getting
Well,
ahead of yourself.
correction. You will feel some sore muscles. But, that's about it.
I think you're getting ahead of yourself.
I feel very confident in my abilities.
Hmm.
Wow, I thought it was higher. Okay.
What was higher?
EXP. I mean, that's good. I mean, I'm not complaining. It's just, ancient dragons and shit, I would have thought it would been higher.
That factoring in that it is offset by the fact that the things that you fought were ridiculously low CR.
I mean, it's still enough to level, so I can't complain.
Yeah. I'm about to say, counted in the 20 snake-headed creatures that you fought. They're CR3. The large dude with the axe that you fought is a CR8. You fought 8 of the villagers who hadn't mutated their heads. Those are also CR3. The dragon and the cultist leader who, showed up but, wasn't fought. But yeah, I also included him to try to raise the XP a bit more. And then also gave you the bonus XP for roleplay.
You know what I wonder, Sierra? Sierra?
She's on mute.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Oh, I was just saying. I do wonder how long this will last.
I don't know, maybe the thing bled out, Lilin. Don't worry, she will enjoy it while she can.
Now I have to come up with a more appropriate phrase. I think I'll have to say kind of whenever you say that. I'll have to think of something that is that is unapproving, but not entirely a negative. I will need to look into the SARS.
Okay. I see. That is fair. Right. How are you doing?
This does unfortunately mean that at some point Nyx will have to go back to was it regular Maru
Rishmillo?
Rishmillo?
Regular Maru. Yes, you will need to go back to regular
It's a
Maru.
regular Merlot. Regular Merlot.
I feel that should be the name now. Regular Merlot. You don't deserve the fancy stuff. Your crew has been banished to regular Merlot. Okay, cool. In which case, must say, I believe that's enough for you guys to level.
Yep.
Okay. I'll say, in which case, gives people enough time to figure out what they want to do with their levels. And where you plan on going for, I'll say, where you guys plan on going for, what do you call it? I'll say, just to make sure, I will go ahead and take care of this now, and then I can pick it up with the next session. How are you guys? I'll say, how are you guys going to? I'll say, assume you're traveling in the bar, in your wagons and whatnot.
Yep.
Yep.
Take the wagon.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep.
I'll cue my crap ass wisdom rolls if we're gonna go into the mist. Is there actually a mist destination set?
Yeah, we're supposed to be going to, was it Falcovia?
Okay.
Falcovia.
Okay.
And so I will need, let's say, I believe, okay, you already rolled.
I haven't rolled anything.
So it says 1d6 R1 plus 5.
I was rolling HP.
Okay. Okay. I do need your roll for how long you're going to be in here.
Where is it? Give me a minute. Let's bring that up.
And for everyone who is, and for everyone who is not, I'll say for everyone who is not, I'll say for everyone whose name is not Nayland, I will need a roll.
I would like to get my name legally changed.
Ooh, I got a decent roll.
What are we rolling?
Wisdom, apparently.
saves.
Okay.
You guys are traveling through the mist. I say you guys are traveling through the mist. That is never a good thing. So.
Is it?
How do we do? Oh, we beat Suka and Nyx. I'll take it.
In feats of wisdom, not that hard to beat.
Fair.
Remember how many wisdom
26
rolls
hours.
I failed that one time?
And reach that domain 2d6 hours. Okay, that's what I thought it was.
Okay, let's see.
So 6
So
hours.
Okay, so 20, 24, 20. I need a roll from. I'll say we'll need. Oh, and look at Nick's go. Just realized that.
Yeah. I
Holy
did a
shit.
thing, it was real.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me roll for the Forge Master.
How many accounts is
Okay.
I see you've mastered null magic.
Yep, totally.
Okay. Whose caravan, I'm about to say, whose wagon would be willing to house the Forge Master?
Nyx would, because, he'd still like to have conversations about, souls, given Nyx's condition.
Okay. And Dalen, are you
I
normally
will
the only person? You're normally
be
the only
right
person
back.
in your wagon, correct?
Usually nobody has actually requested to be in his wagon before.
Okay. And just making sure. Suka's in hers, and I believe so is Evan. Saying so. Bella will be staying with that. Do you? I must say, if I remember correctly, Rayon did stay in your wagon as well. Next, last time he was in there.
Last time, is he doing it this time?
Well, he just left the call, so.
Oh.
I say, yeah, he said he had to take care of something. So,
Nick
if you're
would
okay with it, or what would you rather? Or would you rather not be in it? Do you mind if he sits outside of it, or do you want him, or do you mind if he's inside?
The mist can fuck people up, you can stay inside.
Mhm.
I mean, what is he gonna do? Make me sign a contract?
Bella Dimitrescu is sitting outside of it, on like the front, on like just like the front, front part of it.
She's ballsy.
Yeah, apparently, with her wisdom save, yeah, she's definitely ballsy. Apparently. Okay. You are, I must say, you are making your way. Let's see. I'll say you are making your way through the through the mist. I'll say through the mist. Everything. I'll say everything seems to be going pretty well. Particularly, I'll say particularly for you, Nix. Normally you have a lot of problems with this place,
I don't
but
like
for
it.
some reason. Yeah, but for some reason, you're like, oh man, this is actually, not as bad as I thought it'd be. So yeah, you seem to be holding up pretty well. No problems on your end. However,
Oh,
you do notice that the person who you were talking to does not seem to be holding up as well as you.
are you hearing anything?
He does not seem to be responding to you. He seems to be looking around, very confused.
I will go to block the door, like stand in front of it, in case he decides to bolt.
He was like, I know what I did last time. I don't want him to do
Don't listen to the succubi demon.
that. It's like, I know what it does. Don't listen to it. You will, I'm not saying, there will be, I'll say there does appear to be like a very strange, uncomfortable noise that seems to be coming from. I'll say that seems to be coming from just about everywhere. He seems to be clutching his head as if it is loud and painful, whereas to the rest of you seems to be whispers. Even you, Nail, are starting to hear these noises.
Wonderful.
Which in your experience, if you can hear, that means it's not an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. You looked really good, Alexander. No, don't bite my head off. No, I need that for a living. Good.
What's that?
It is what is going to attack people in a minute, but technically not a minute, but next time.
What's that?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. It's a thing that's going to attack people.
Gotcha.
Say, I use overwrite, no, export. That's right. Export. There we go. Overwrite. Let's replace. There we go. Export. All right. All right. He seems to be curling. I'll say he seems to be curling up a bit in a ball. As he starts crying, saying out loud that he tried, saying that he tried his best to protect them. He will loudly start proclaiming, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I tried to protect you all. I didn't mean for you to get kidnapped. Please forgive me."
I would like to do a dangerous thing and utilize the power of persuasion, because I can totally do that, right? Um, the the mists are tricking you, um, feeding off feeding off of your guilt. I'm sure you did the best you could. Because Nix is not a people person.
He seems to still be kind of huddled up, but he seems to at least kind of heard your voice. Naylan, you being outside will see that you can see, Mase, you will see four spot, Mase, in the shadows of Mase, in like the shadows of this mist. You will see one, two, three, four red flames burst, Mase, begin to kind of ignite in the distance. Three to your right, one to your left.
Fun.
As you begin to see these, about to say, roughly 10-foot tall silhouettes begin to come, they'll say, begin to start making their way through the mist. And as they get closer, the mist begins to recede. Nyx, the whispers that you hear, don't call to you, but you do hear something called specifically to you.
Oh.
Once you will hear it say, once again, once again, you trying to console people when you can't even protect yourself. Poor little Nyx, all alone. Nayla, you will see these things begin wandering out of, emerging from the dark, the blackness of the ground, taking shape as this fire rages inside of what looks to be their emptied, hollowed out skulls.
I roll to figure out what they are, but I assume you want to do that next time.
Yeah. And Nyx, you will, Nyx, hearing this voice, it sounds as if it's outside the caravan. This is not an illusion. It is definitely a voice that you recognize.
Can I look?
Yes. You look out the caravan and you will see this.
Yep, no. No. I closed the door. Because that'll stop it.
Hurt me. I closed the door, it can't hurt me. I mean, technically, there is a way out of this. There's two ways out of this.
Kill it!
Well, there's the fight option. And two, Naylan basically goes, yeah! And then basically tries to outrun these things. So I do have things set up for either chase. And those are your two options. You can either stay here and fight, or you can pretty much do the Final Fantasy VII thing where you basically, go on a chase and Naylan just keeps swinging his whip left and right until everyone falls over.
I feel like we don't have time for that. We might as well just stand our ground and fight them.
Well, one could argue running away and fighting them on the move is actually faster, but we'll worry about that next session based on who actually shows up.
All right. I'll say.
So if it's just David and I, run and gun is probably better because we only have to engage them one or two at a time.
Yeah, for me, it would just be best if I just stood my ground and fight.
Right. I'm not disputing that. Like I said, it depends on who shows up.
I mean, granted, you could just cast from your thing. You could just cast your magic, and I think you're actually going to get out of the.
And we haven't had a long rest, though. Yeah, we haven't had a long rest yet. So I don't. Did we?
Yeah.
We would have taken a long rest before leaving.
Oh, that's good. I didn't know we actually did that.
No, Naylor's not going to travel the mist and without making sure everybody's tanked up.
Yeah, that's what I was like. You guys have time. What do you want to do before you actually head out? And everybody was like, yeah. He was like, I want to go to the place. I want to do that. Oh yeah, by the way, let me get that for you, Tristan.
I need my money, or whatever he's paying us in, since money may or may not be on hand.
Money is very little. Money is very little, but he's going to give you what he can.
I'd say, yeah, because I did let him know that, items or, equivalent value was acceptable. Just, whatever they could do. Now that I've got myself and Evan leveled up, I'll worry about Sierra later, because I gotta go look up what those are.
Okay, this is the best that he can do. He does apologize, though.
Okay. And there was no dragon horde, unfortunately, so...
Yeah, this dragon, I'll say, that's one of the things he had mentioned. He was like, a horde. And I remember my brother talking about that and being worshipped and all sorts of other stuff. He's like, it never really suited me, but, let's see what this whole big deal is. And then you told him, it was like, hey, you should probably try doing this. And he was like, you are correct. This is awesome. Now he's going to start building a horde. So probably good that you got this money out of them, because they probably won't have anything by the time he's done. But yes, technically, if you go by sea, then you don't have to worry about. You won't have to worry about the rest of the stuff. So you can technically go to any of the lands bordering the, bordering the oceans, without actually having to travel on land, and without having to worry about the, without actually having to worry about the mist. So if you decide that you want to go to Dimensulo, Lamordia, the Isles of Agony, or Darkon, then you can feel free to do so.
Cool.
I'll say, but yeah, their boats can't fit down the rivers, so they can't guarantee you that. But they can pretty much take you anywhere that the sea touches.
Heavy where the light touches, Simba.
But yes, you guys. This gives you guys time to level up, figure out how you want to handle this. Backup, must say a plan, a backup plan, and a plan to deal with that plan, and that should be it. All right. Well, must say congratulations to you guys. I'm very impressed that you managed to talk down. Must say that you. I like the manner in which you talk down the dragon.
I like the
It
manner.
is
It was very interesting story wise, but once again, I am denied a hunt and a chance to fight a dragon.
I've
That's all.
denied everything.
That sounds like you guys could have just swung at him. I wasn't going to stop you. He has a sheet and everything.
If we didn't have the kid, I might have, but we had the kid, so now it's like, okay, it has a kid. That means it might be able to be reasoned with.
Let's see. Because unless you guys actually piss him off, he is chaotic good.
Yeah, see, I didn't know if it was a good dragon or an evil dragon because there is a distinction there. So it's like,
He must say he is chaotic good. Cobalt dragons are born from the pairing. I must say born from the pairing of blue dragons and silver dragons.
okay, 6.
So the chaotic part comes from the evil parent. The good part comes from the good parent. He has 3 different breath attacks. One of them I find I kind of find relatively useless.
Darkness breath.
Yeah. I'll say one of them I find that's actually pretty useful. But I'll say, well, I'm like, yep, you did realize it does have radiant. Radiant is definitely one of the things it can do. So radiant is one of its breaths. But it does have amnesia breath. I might say, and the amnesia breath. The amnesia breath forces you to be what's his face from Star Wars and forget everything that happened in the past handful of minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say all creatures in the area must make a DC intelligence saving throw or lose all memory of the past 1d4 minutes. Which technically I kind of feel is a good. That's a very nice way of ending a conflict. He was like, yeah, I'm fighting a dragon. And he was like, bro, just breathes on. He was like, wait, what was I doing? You were doing nothing. Yeah, you're right. I was doing that. All right, cool. I'm going to go home now. I feel that is a very nice and considerate way for a dragon to end a fight. It's basically Jedi mind trick you into going home. As we said, it's very shitty for combat, but very believable for a good dragon good aligned dragon that really doesn't want to fight.
Yeah, it's like, okay, adventurers are being a dick. Okay, bleh. Okay, now leave.
Better than hitting you with the radiant breath, because Jesus fucking Christ, that does a lot of fucking damage.
Yep.
Make a ridiculous Constitution saving throw or take 90 radiant damage. And of course, lightning. And the frightful presence, which never works because, you guys have a cleric, so frightening you is never going to be a thing.
It depends on what spell he's got going. Not all of them stop fear. He can remove it once it's happened, but
I'm gonna say most of the stuff you guys prep, most of the stuff you guys prep basically nerf fear.
well, yeah.
And I think I got a feat that gives me advantages against being feared. I can't recall. I know somebody does. I just don't know who.
I'm very limited in the number of bus spells I have to play with, so because Evan doesn't buff, so I only have so many options.
I do feel some sort of way that they got rid. I'm also, I was like, this is a dragon that can't shape change. I'll say it can't shape change. I'll say it can't shape change, but it can cast up to 9th level.
Well, again, not all dragons can do that. That's usually the metallics only.
Yeah, I kind of figured he.
He's a half-breed, so he lost the ability.
Yeah. I was like, okay. I was like, maybe he has shape change. I was like, nope. I was like, but the write up. I was like, but the write up for this thing basically. So it was like, yeah, but his son. It was like, yeah, but his child can, shape change, and that's the reason why. That's the reason why it looks like a kid. So I was like, okay, cool. I was like, the kid can shape change. All right, he can't though.
Well, I mean, he is old enough and powerful enough as an ancient that he could have picked up spellcasting and gotten the spell to do it, but...
Yeah, but his list of spells don't have anything about polymorph.
Well, again, that's the default list of spells, and it would be the shape change spell, I think, is 9th level, for turning into a person, because polymorph only lets you turn into animals.
I think shape change is less than 9th, but...
But yeah, you could always have homebrewed his spell list and just say he has that.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but I was like, his spell list is already fucking ridiculous. And so I was like...
It's like you just swap out one of the spells he knows with that.
Yeah, I had a sheet, because I had a sheet. I was like, okay. I was like, based on the amount of people that show up, I'm like, if for some reason everyone's here, then I'm going to allow him to have access to his spells. If I have David and Tristan, then yeah, he's not going to have any spells, and I'm going to randomly eliminate 2 of his breath weapons. So I was like, if we have the amount of people that we did have, I was like, okay, cool. Then he can keep his breath weapons, but I'm going to get rid of the magic, because I'm like, last thing we need is this motherfucker, like, actually casting 9th level. I'll say 9th level fucking, like, meteor storm on fucking people and shit. Like, I don't need this motherfucker dropping rocks out of the sky on people. I don't think you guys are there yet.
No, we are definitely not there yet.
I say, ideally, we'll have you there by the time you decide. I'll say, by the time you face Haslick, because he was definitely going to try to drop meteors on your head. But all right, cool. I'll say 2 weeks. I'll say in 2 weeks, guys level up, and we figure out how you wish to deal with David's backstory, showing up again, and attempting to hunt you down.
Nick don't like it.
DM says that you probably should have changed his frequency. I was like, I don't want to fight this guy. Why did you increase his frequency? I don't know. It sounded cool in the first place.
Yeah. I also don't think the pet thing's going to last very long.
Alright. Well, thank you all so very much, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
Yep.
For what may or may not be the end of the anniversary.
Pretty sure.
We can hope.
Pretty sure.